Welcome! Today, we're taking a journey to figure out how every single animal on Earth is organized. Think of it like building a giant family tree for the entire animal kingdom. Let's jump right in. So, to get our brains warmed up, let's think about this. A human and a fish. I mean, they couldn't seem more different, right? One of us walks on land, the other swims in the ocean. But believe it or not, they share something really, really important that puts them in the same huge category. Any guesses? And here it is. The biggest, most fundamental difference in the entire animal kingdom all comes down to one simple thing: a backbone. That's it. Animals that have a backbone, or a spine, are called vertebrates, and animals that don't, they're called invertebrates. This is the first big rule that divides everybody up. So here's our game plan. We'll start with how the kingdom is divided. Then we'll check out the vertebrates, that's the 4%. Then we'll explore the invertebrates, the other 96%. We'll even do a special spotlight on primates before we wrap it all up with the big picture. Okay, before we move on, what do you think? Just take a guess. Which group has more types of animals in it? The ones with backbones, the vertebrates, or the ones without, the invertebrates? The answer is usually a huge shocker for people. It's not even a close competition. You can see right here, invertebrates make up almost the entire animal kingdom. The group with backbones, which, includes us, is just this tiny little sliver. Let that number sink in for a second. 96%. To put that in perspective, for every one animal with a backbone you can think of, like a cat or a lizard, there are about 24 animals without one. They are the true hidden rulers of the animal world. So here's the key takeaway. The picture we have in our head of a typical animal is probably wrong. We think of lions, eagles, and dogs, but really the average animal on this planet is way more likely to be something like a beetle or a worm, something with no backbone at all. All right, so let's start with that small but familiar group, that 4%. We're going to explore the 5 major groups that make up the vertebrates. First up, the group we belong to, mammals. What makes a mammal a mammal? Well, we have hair or fur, we give birth to live babies instead of laying eggs, and we're warm-blooded. That just means our bodies work to stay at the same temperature on the inside, no matter how hot or cold it is outside. Now let's switch gears from warm-blooded mammals to cold-blooded reptiles. They're covered in scales, have dry skin, and their body temperature basically matches whatever the temperature is around them. That's why you always see lizards sunbathing on rocks. They're literally charging their batteries with the sun's heat. And what about birds? What's their one big thing? Feathers. They're the only animals on the planet that have them. But notice, they're kind of like a mix of the other groups. Like us mammals, they're warm-blooded, but like reptiles, they lay eggs. Now, what about animals that live a double life? Well, meet the amphibians. They do something incredible. They start their lives in the water, breathing with gills just like a fish. But then, most of them grow up and move on to land, breathing air. They're cold-blooded and have that moist, slick skin. And our last stop in the vertebrate tour is the fish. These guys are designed for a life completely underwater. They use gills to breathe oxygen from the water and have fins to move around. And hey, remember that first question? What do a human and a fish have in common? Now you know. We're both vertebrates. We both have a backbone.
Okay, we've met the 4%. Now, let's dive into the main event, that other 96%. We're about to explore the vast, amazing world of animals without backbones.
So you might be wondering, if you don't have bones on the inside, what keeps you from just being a blob? Well, a lot of invertebrates have a brilliant solution: an exoskeleton. It's exactly what it sounds like, a skeleton on the outside. It's like wearing your own personal suit of armor that gives you shape and protection. Let's use insects as our example. Since they're the biggest group of invertebrates by far, they all follow a really simple blueprint. 1, they have that exoskeleton we just talked about. 2, their body is always in 3 parts: a head, a thorax in the middle, and an abdomen at the back. And 3, they always have 6 legs. But insects are just one small part of this gigantic world. The invertebrate group is unbelievably diverse. We're talking about everything from squishy jellyfish and starfish in the ocean, to snails and super smart octopuses, to crabs and shrimp with their tough shells, and of course the 8-legged arachnids like spiders. This one category has more variety than all the vertebrates put together. All right, let's quickly zoom back into that tiny 4% because I want to put a spotlight on a really special group of mammals that we happen to be a part of, the primates. So what makes primates, like monkeys, apes, and us, different from, say, a dog or a cow? A few things, really. We have really large brains for our body size. Our eyes both face forward, which gives us amazing depth perception. And we have hands that are great at grasping things, sometimes with those super useful opposable thumbs. And that big brain leads to some incredible behaviors. For instance, chimpanzees have been observed using tools. They'll actually find the right kind of stick and use it to fish termites out of a nest for a snack. Now that is some clever problem solving. Okay, we've looked at all the different groups. Let's pull back now, put it all together, and really see the big picture. This chart just lays it all out so clearly. You can really see the patterns here. See how the two warm-blooded groups, mammals and birds, are covered in hair or feathers to help keep them warm? And the three cold-blooded groups have scales or moist skin. It's a great little cheat sheet for remembering who's who. So, at the end of the day, what is the one big idea you should walk away with? It's this. The entire, beautiful, complex animal kingdom can be sorted by asking one simple question. Does it have a backbone? Everything else just flows from that one simple division. And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. Remember, 96% of all animals are invertebrates, which means there is a hidden world of incredible creatures all around us. So what's the coolest, most interesting invertebrate you can think of? An octopus that can change its color in a blink? A spider that can build an intricate web? The possibilities are pretty much endless.